Hello, all, and welcome to our YouTube channel, The Third Man Musings. Today, we'll be reviewing, all the matches that happened this week in Group Two and how things are expected to pan out in the knockout matches as we reach the business end of the tournament. Hope you saw our previous video, which we did on Group One. How the matches panned out there and how things are expected to happen in Group One. Today, we'll be reviewing Group Two, and we'll be covering three major teams: India, Pakistan, and South Africa. So we'll start off with India.
So yeah, we'll start with the favorite team and India's story has been very simple. It has been Kohli's India this time, and he's not the captain, but I think he's the captain in this tournament for us. And the way he's leading with his batting and on the field and everything, Rohit is also looking at him and seeing that okay, this guy is going to win us the cup if anybody can. So very good news that the king is back, and with him we have his understudy Surya at four. So this 3 and 4 axis that India has built over these four games gives me a lot of confidence that okay, this is pretty much the best 3 and 4 we have in the entire tournament. And next is openers. So yeah, your favorite guy Rahul. So he was Kamal Lajawab Rahul finally, not Khel Rahul anymore. So lovely innings, right? The first after ages,
Yeah. Again,
after bad start actually. So
I,
yeah,
I know. I
very bad
think,
start.
yeah, he started off with one of around seven balls, and I think everybody's blood started
Yeah.
boiling again. But yeah, good recovery. He got 49 runs of the next 25 balls to take it to 50 of 32 balls. And let's not forget his most important contribution in the match was running
Yes.
out Leighton Das, right? Because Leighton Das
Yes.
was literally taking the game away from India, and that and what a throw it was directly from the boundary. He had just
One
one
stump.
stump to aim at,
Yeah.
and he hit it direct, right? So at least his confidence is back, and hopefully again he needs to block out those negative thoughts. Once he's positive, we all know what he's capable of. So good to see him back in form. Pandya and Dinesh Karthik, I still need
DK.
to
Uh,
contribute more in the middle and lower order, but the top four really need to continue firing for India to make it all the way through for sure.
So one important point is the top four you mentioned. So I think the first batsman is missing in action, Rohit Sharma. Some weird thing which we have noticed is he performs once in four or five innings. I think it has been 4 innings now, and he hit 150 against Netherlands. So maybe he doesn't perform against Zimbabwe. I'm okay as long as he gets his act together in semis or finals. So he has consistency issues, but I think even if he does his 30 or 15 balls, I think he'll do a job. But one thing which bothers me about Team India right now is that there's too much dependency in Kohli. It is like the dependency we had on Sachin in the 90s, right?
Right,
So as soon as he gets out, it's like, okay, we can switch off the TV. But Surya is there, so I think that at least there's one more player for whom we'll stay.
right.
But above that, now Rahul is in form, so okay, hopefully that works out. But the lower order, the finishing power, which I was talking about, which I think we had, but in context of Pandya, played decently against Pakistan, but we also know at the end he really struggled. It was Kohli's magic which took us through,
Right.
and since then Pandya hasn't done anything actually. And DK is a question mark for me now. I really support him. RCB, he was reborn in RCB, but there's something missing. But going by what the team management does in terms of giving confidence to its players, so they stuck by Rahul, and he repaid the faith, right? So let's see. You think they'll change or they'll stick to DK now,
I
like
think
till the end of the tournament,
for the Zimbabwe game,
or they can
definitely.
injure him also? So yeah.
For the Zimbabwe game, I think definitely he'll play, but I think his performance in that particular match will need to
Hmm.
be seen, because if he flops again there, I think all the pressure in the media and from the fans will definitely come that Pant has to come in, right? Even a lot of cricket experts and former players have
Yeah.
clearly called out that there is no way Rishabh Pant should be sitting on the bench, right? So I see that if Karthik fails, this is his last shot against Zimbabwe. From what I can see, if he fails, I think Pant will make it for the semi-finals. And I'm also, we have had
Hmm.
discussions on this as well. Now that spot which either Akshar or Huda is playing, right? It's almost like India is playing with a 10-man team, right? Because that neither
Yes.
has Akshar
Yes.
contributed nor has Huda contributed. So will India
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
brave to take the punt and say, Ashwin, you bat at 7? After 8, 8, 9, 10, 11 will almost be jacks, but let's strengthen our bowling with Chahal, right? Because against
Yes.
let's say Australia or England, whomever we face in the semi final, they are a batting powerhouse, right? And a
Hmm.
bowler of the skill of Chahal could go a long way in pulling the match in India's favor. So that is another interesting thing, whether India will be brave enough to take that punt.
I think they won't be because this is the format they've stuck to, and they want to fix that seventh option with a person who can bowl. Because think about it, if they have to, they will go for punt rather than play the extra bowler by the looks of it, because of the pressure, the left-handedness, and everything. But yeah, that is a question mark. And Akshar cannot bowl only one over and bat for two balls. That is a super specialized role, more than DK's also now. So you
more
cannot
than more than
have so
Asif
many
Ali's
specialists in
also.
one team doing so. He's doing it. We'll discuss it next time. So that's the problem. So I'm also confused what can work, because ideally, if you're going to bowl only one or two overs, then you might as well play Huda, who's the extra batsman. But the problem is that guy is a top order batsman. You play him at 5, 6. So, and my problem is with Pandya that he thinks he's one of the West Indian bowlers nowadays, and he keeps bowling short, and everything is short because he has a bit of pace, but he's not that pacey, man. He's not 150. I think he touches 140, but then he's predictable, and people start hitting him.
Right.
So I think Rohit also shouted at him because against Bangladesh again he was bowling crap. I mean, you bowl the bouncer as a surprise, right? Or somebody you know who's very bad against a short ball. But he kept bowling, and then they don't keep a third man as usual. He keeps getting cut over third man. There's a boundary. So you cannot trust him as a fifth bowler only. That's my issue. That's why I think they will definitely play somebody who can bowl at 7 and not weaken the batting. So
Right.
that's
Plus,
a major
plus there
question
is
mark.
his injury concern as well, right? I mean, they have
Oh yeah,
always wrapped him up in cotton wool from the
Cotton,
last
yeah.
couple of years. So you
He
never
was,
know key match again if he pulls up, then who will bowl the overs, right? So
yeah,
that's also.
he's future captain now, right, for the New Zealand tour T20. So Gujarat, he used to, I think, played Tewati at 6 at times. He had so much bowling, and he was the seventh bowler. So I hope he doesn't do that with India. He'll need to bowl at least two overs. So let's hope he gets his act together and stops behaving like he's some West Indies great. On those four pacers, he's the fifth one, he thinks. So
Yeah.
let's hope he doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
So now we'll jump to the next team. And yeah,
Y-
coming to like, just to finalize India, very
Yeah.
good chance. I don't expect an upset. I mean, that'll be too shocking, and I don't know how the team manager will justify it also. So let's hope no surprises, and we should be good to top the group.
Right,
So,
right. And if India, make it to, top the group, then most likely they'll have their semi-final in Adelaide, right? And Adelaide is Kohli's,
oh
happy
yeah,
hunting ground, right? He scores hundreds for fun there.
home ground.
So, yeah, I think Kohli will be
Yeah.
relishing it if the semi-final is in Adelaide. So that is an added incentive for him and the team.
Yeah, it's Kohli's tournament. I'm telling you. So Adelaide, Sydney, both are his grounds. Umpires also are his nowadays apparently, because he tells the umpires no ball wide everything, and fielding wise also he's doing this fake fielding which is upsetting people. So he's ticking all the boxes. He's becoming the Kohli we like, who like, gets
Yeah,
under the skin of everybody. So
yeah,
that's why I feel that the real Kohli is back.
yeah.
Coming next to our second favorite team in the group, Pakistan. So as we discussed, right, no idea about this team. So they lost against Zimbabwe, which is the new Ashes rivalry, as we said, and then they beat South Africa of all teams, shockingly. So a lot of questions there, but let's start from the top. Okay, so the openers, they have some issues. I think the funny part about this team is they keep bringing new people, and they keep pushing the players who are in form by one number. So Shan was at 3, he now bats at 4. Iftikhar, who's popularly known as Chachu in Pakistan because he has a slightly elderly face, but nothing. So it's something I also learned from social media only, that
Yeah.
this guy's called Chachu all over, and he is genuinely playing like a Chachu for them. Like he's the lone man standing, and he's batting at 5 now instead of 4, where he batted for Pakistan against India and the brilliant
Right.
innings. So that guy's they're pushing everybody down, but these openers are fixed because they're ICC top openers.
1 and 4. Yeah.
But now they're not even that because
Yeah.
Surya became one, so
Yeah.
Rizwan doesn't have number one, and their problems start at the top. And I think the secret to winning in South Africa was these two getting out so soon, and then they were able to hit 180. So very messed up situation because their captain refuses to back down and say, "Okay, no, I'll score. I'm the world class batsman." So you see that changing in the next match?
No, I don't see that, because one is, this has been their tried and tested combination for more than a year or close to 2 years, right? So that
One and
will,
a half.
and
Yeah.
more than that, the messaging that goes out to the team as well as the opposition, right? That they now lost confidence in the opening pair.
Hmm.
And the problem is, if you send Babar and Rizwan down the order, they don't have the attacking game to, why do they? I mean, whenever they have scored,
Yeah.
why have they done well? Because in the power play, they can, you know. Play those strokes which beats the fielders in the
They
inner
don't.
circle, and then it's four. But they don't have those aerial shots where,
Yeah.
they can clear, and don't forget the
100-meter
boundaries
boundaries.
here are 100 meter. It's not UAE where you get
Agreed.
80 meters,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
I don't see them moving down the order. I think they'll
Changing.
continue there itself. Yeah, top of the order.
So then they'll have to hope that the openers, fail sooner, and then the good players come in, because
Yeah.
they have, since that combination changed where they dropped their X Factor player Asif Ali. Now he just, I think, plays in his terrace, hits the sixes, sixes for breakfast, sixes for dinner, and he, I think, said also, I'll hit Rabada, Bumrah, staff for sixes. Now hit everybody in his terrace or wherever he hits those sixes. So since they brought Wasim, this team has looked way better, because Wasim has done very well in his defense and a very good fourth pace option. And now I think we've forgotten Nawaz the bowler.
Right.
I
He's
don't
just
think he
playing
hit
as
any
a
goals
batsman
anymore. He's
now.
playing like a
He's a batsman now.
specialist number
Yeah.
six, number seven. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
got the DK role. He's got the Asif Ali role, I think now. He's the left-handed Asif Ali for them. So they have a very good bowling, and yeah, I think one of the better teams that were in the tournament, but because of the very flawed captain and the management who's not able to recognize where the problem is, because now you have a large sample space, right? You have 4 matches. You lost to
Right.
Zimbabwe, and every time, and you saw the young kid, right, Mohammad Haris. Now this guy
Right.
comes in and plays
Fearless.
28
Yeah.
of 12,
Yeah.
and yeah, fearless. So if he can do it, I'm sure Babar and Rizwan can also do it. But there's something up with them. They have like uh, they're struggling from, I think, they have that Punjab KL Rahul phenomena, both of
Right.
them together, and a lot of it. So they're
Right.
so defensive. So I,
And
they're just
and
hitting the axe on
actually
their own court, I
credit to
feel.
the bowling attacks whoever have played against them, right? Now what is Babar's
Yeah,
main
yeah.
strength? Cover drive, right? So he's a front foot player who loves the cover drive.
Not
So
one
what?
cover drive
Yeah,
in this
they
tournament.
have
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
pitched full to him, all back of length, right? And Rizwan, as we call him, Lekka Lapadu, he, I mean, even if
Mhm.
a ball is outside off stump, he tries to pull it or hook it, right?
Yes,
So teams have been very smart
he
there.
looks weird
Yeah,
when he plays on the
they've
off.
kept
Yeah,
it on the fifth stump, sixth stump line even. So they have kept a stranglehold on him. So kudos to all the opposition bowling attacks who have
who did the homework.
did the homework on these two. Absolutely.
Hmm. So Pakistan, at the end of the day, have been, I think, very religious in this tournament. So they keep praying. So they were praying for India to win. Now they're praying for India to lose, and then they're praying for South Africa to lose. So if everything works out for them, I think it is their tournament to win. And they have this thing called Kudrat Ka Nizam. So that is going to be their tagline, I think, for the entire tournament. If the miracle happens on Sunday, India
Yeah.
lose or South Africa lose, and God knows how they have to win against Bangladesh. People keep forgetting that.
Right.
I mean, with the way Bangladesh played against India, again, that lack of experience shows where they just panicked and lost a match they should have won. So if Leighton Das fires, I don't. Pakistan will have it tough against Bangladesh also. But yeah, I think the major advantage. There's no advantage actually. It's a straight knockout, right, for India.
Yeah.
They win,
Yeah.
and they lose, then we pack our bags.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other word on
I-
Pakistan?
Um,
Like there are
no,
so many
I
things
think
actually, but yeah.
yeah, I think in the interest of time, the only thing for Pakistan is I think they have now peaked late, right? The damage was done upfront in those two
Hmm.
matches, and I think Pakistan fans can still forgive them for the loss against India. The one against Zimbabwe was inexcusable,
India,
right? I mean, 130. The
unforgivable.
captain in the
Yeah,
press
yeah.
conference goes and says we gave 10 runs extra. I mean, it's 130. It's
Extra,
not
yeah, yeah,
160, right? So
yeah.
I
He never
mean,
takes
that
blame. Yeah,
was
yeah.
appalling.
And
Yeah.
the biggest slap on the face was when Netherlands chased down Zimbabwe's score subsequently. So
Yeah.
you cannot even make that excuse that okay, too many runs. Netherlands can chase, you can obviously chase, man. So
Right.
let's see. And
Right.
coming to the last team, then South Africa. So not much to discuss because they have been the like better team in Group 2, and I think Perth was always going to make them favorites with the kind of pitch and bowling they have. So India struggled, but the last match exposed the chinks in the armor, and we could see that okay, if the pitch, and these are the kind of pitches they'll receive in the semis also, right?
Right.
Sydney or Adelaide.
Right.
So they will be not having that buffer of a like a very fast bouncy pitch, and Miller hopefully should be back, and uh, the captain, yes, the
He,
pocket rocket, he
yeah.
scored, and he's world class now. Also, if we call
Yeah.
Babar world class, he scored more than Babar's entire total in that one innings, and very gutsy innings actually. I
Yeah,
really
in
enjoyed
fact,
it.
that
Right,
was
because
the biggest gain in that match for them, right? If you say one big
uh,
positive, that was the positive. Yeah.
yeah, very aggressive, and he looked explosive. So if he can provide such starts, I think they have a very good, like with the Riley, Markram, Miller, a very solid 3-4-5. So if he can do that job, more than enough. And Quinton
Yeah.
de Kock, I think needs to step up. I
Yeah.
really think he's very inconsistent
Mm,
for his stature and
right.
experience.
Decock and Russo failing in the last couple of matches has been a problem for them because
Mm.
Markram and Miller are holding the
They
innings
look good,
together.
very good. Yeah,
But
yeah.
if up front they are, let's say, 30 for 3, then Markram and Miller can't bail them out always, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
to look forward, if they qualify, and most likely their semi final will be in Sydney, they'll
Okay.
have to take a call on Shamsi because again Shamsi didn't do that well in the match against
Pakistan.
Pakistan, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I think they'll have to take a call there. Do they play two spinners in Sydney? Do they play one? If they play one, will it be
Which
Maharaj?
one should be?
So yeah, yeah. But I think Rabada, Ngidi, and Parnell and Norkia will do well. Rabada has been a bit off color, which is a bit surprising. But yeah, the bowling should still hold its own. The batting
Mm-hmm.
is the problem area for sure.
Hold his one.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Stubbs hasn't done anything, I think, till now. But
yeah,
he's one of those dynamic players who will hit once only in the tournament. So, hoping it's not in the next game. I think they should be able to handle Netherlands without even Stubbs' contribution. So, as per us, they should easily win against Netherlands. So, they'll land up at 7. So, for sure, South Africa is qualifying. Now it is about India and Pakistan, and Pakistan's prayers for India of losing against Zimbabwe, and Pakistan somehow winning against Bangladesh. So let's see how that pans out. We'll review that match as well and
yeah.
see. Hopefully, our predictions are right, and we see Kohli batting in Adelaide or Sydney. So yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully he consequently bats in Melbourne next Sunday. So yeah, so as per us, to conclude, basically,
Oh yeah,
from what we can.
and no rain also. So yeah.
Right. So basically, to conclude from what we are seeing, it should be an India versus England semi-final in Adelaide and a South Africa versus New Zealand semi-final in Sydney.
This is
But
New
let's see
Zealand.
how it goes. Cricket is a funny game, and the results this tournament have been crazy, right? You never know which team will win on which day. So, in exciting weekend to look forward to. And do share your thoughts on how you felt the review for this particular video was for Group Two, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And
I
let's look
actually
forward to
have
the
a point.
matches ahead.
Before we close, actually, yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. One point here. So one more thing is, if India versus Zimbabwe gets rained out, India still qualify. So then we can also say Kudrat ka Nizam. So let's hope it
Yeah.
can work for us also.
Yeah,
Okay then.
and
Thank.
by the way, Kudrat Ka Nizam was trending when Bangladesh was 17 runs ahead on the DLS, when the match between India and Bangladesh was on
Oh
hold.
yes. Yeah.
But then we saw where Kudrat actually supported in the end, right? So I think that should be a message enough. So
Okay then.
yeah, on that note,
Let's see you again. See you
see you
guys.
folks, and look forward to your comments. Till then,
Okay.
take care.
Okay.